Welcome everyone to AJ's World of Bodybuilding. We are having the Arnold Classic UK wrap up, and I'm so happy that we are not like the other channels that sit in home and review shows. No, we have Viktor. Say your last name again.
I'm sorry. Kållberg is probably the easiest way to pronounce it.
He's a former bodybuilder turned one of the best photographers in the entire world for bodybuilding. He was at the show, so he obviously sees every physique very clear. He has the best seats in the house, and he's a passionate man for bodybuilding. George Whyte, we were supposed to do the commentary. There was some problems with the stream, but you were there. You saw everything. And Samson Dauda now no longer needs no introduction.
Hey. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Quick before we go into it, what was the difference, Samson? Last year, you walked into the Arnold UK. Not everyone knew you. Well, they knew you because you were from Britain, but you were treated in whatever way there. But now, when you walked in 320 pounds, how was the difference in 1 year when you walked into the arena?
Man, it was shocking even for me, man, because the audience, just the vibe and everything was just like another level this time, man. And it felt good, man. And it did this time, especially this time. I wasn't competing, so I had a lot more relaxed demeanor going there, and the welcoming, the way the show was this time, it was just bigger and better.
That's good to hear. It's nice to see that the fans see and respect your hard work. And as Jamie the Giant said on my recent interview, you're the man to beat from the UK right now. And that's not always been the words of the other pros, but now it's official. We go into the top six. In sixth place, he's improving show after show. Yep. Jamie the Giant. Viktor, what did you see that you liked on Jamie the Giant's physique this time around?
Oh, man. I mean, Jamie's frame, especially for being that tall, is just amazing. Jamie's, I think, 6'5", and to pack on that much mass on a tall frame like that is just unbelievable. And he was in great shape, great conditioning. I think this is probably the best I've ever seen Jamie in a show.
And you've seen many of his shows, correct?
I do. I follow the sport.
Samson, Jamie the Giant, Mark Hector. If Mark was fifth, Jamie was sixth.
Yeah.
Could those places switched?
Personally, I think they could have, because Jamie was at his best shape. When he walked out, automatically it was that wow. Everybody saw freeze and go, wow. Yeah. He was hard, he was dry, he was on point, he was at his best, all-time best, hands down. And, I felt really proud of him, man, because after seeing, we were competing as amateurs, coming through all the UKBFF and all them times. And now seeing where he is and how much he's developed, especially having a very tall frame that is very hard to fill out, you got to commend him, man. The guy hasn't given up, he hasn't backed off, and he's managed each time to sort of step his game up. And now looking at him here, it was amazing, man. I felt really good for him, genuinely.
George, we had a lot of expectations for Mark, especially Callum went out and said he's gained 27.5 pounds since last time he went on. Was he too heavy?
Well, I think he was too heavy. But I would like to say something about Jamie first. I thought when Jamie walked on, it was instantly the best Jamie we've ever seen. His condition was great. He crossed striations in his legs. And if you remember, the night before the show, we were at the the competitor thing.
Meet and greet?
The meet and greet. And Jamie had by far the longest queue. He had a queue going from one side of the room to the other. So obviously the fans don't just rely on competition placings on deciding whether they follow someone or not. There's something that Jamie's got that people really love, and he's got a really good profile in the world of bodybuilding. Now, Hector, I think there was a lot of hype for him before the show. I think if he was to lose another 7, 8, 9 pounds, he could win shows in the next few weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be disheartened if I was Hector. I would just think, right, well, I've maybe not put on £27. I've maybe put on maybe £20 or 18. I'll tell you what, an £18 increase in a physique over 2 years is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's all there for him. He's got nothing to worry about, nothing to be ashamed of. Callum knows what he's going to do. I guarantee the next time you see Hector on stage, he's going to be better.
Just for people so they hear, Andrew Jack, James Hollingshead, who's is like the big name from the UK with the locals, but Jamie the Giant had the biggest lineup at the meet and greet.
Yeah.
That's I talked to Jamie before, and I told him this, and he said, I already felt like I won, you know? So
Nice.
Congratulations to him. Mark is not doing France this weekend.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about France a little bit at the end, but he's not doing France because Callum told me he needs to drop, just as George said there, a good 10 pounds. Yeah. And he still has Italy and Romania and Spain to try to get that Olympic. Well? What?
Is there a show in Prague as well?
Yes,
the EBLS in the end of October.
Yeah,
but actually, I spoke to Mark today, and he told me he's aiming for the Italy show in 2 weeks. So the Tsunami Pro.
I think 1 week's not enough time.
Yeah.
What?
I think 1 week's probably not enough time to make the changes that he needs. 2 weeks.
We wish him good luck, but in Prague. No, in Italy, you're going against the big hype of bodybuilding, Michael Krisanek?
Krizo.
In Romania.
If he takes his pro card, but I mean, he probably is, you know.
If he takes his pro card.
We got to say it the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he most likely is, right.
But at that show, he's going to have to turn round.
Oh, yeah.
Because all his pictures.
Stop it now. Stop it now. Yeah. But we wish Mark good luck, and no matter what, he brought his best ever physique. Ever for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
nothing to be ashamed of.
Isn't that a win in itself, Samson? No matter where you play?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is, you know. I mean, like, all you can say, remember, he hasn't competed for 2 years, and taking that much time off and coming on the stage, it doesn't mean you can't just expect to just peak right the first time off, especially having that much time off. You gotta, and when putting on that much size, it's almost like you gotta relearn your body again. Your body doesn't respond the same way it did 2 years ago when you try to peak for a show. The body changes year by year. So having that time off is not a surprise. You can miss the peak. That's just what it is. But you know what? Get back on the horse, get back to working, and make it. You know, he's gonna make. I'm sure in 2 weeks' time, he's gonna be a lot more improved.
And sure. Viktor, doesn't he have a beautiful aesthetics physique that you're watching a lot of these guys closely with the links? He's a beautiful physique, correct?
Absolutely beautiful. And I saw there was someone who posted today side by sides from Mark's last showing to this, and those 2 years, man, he made big improvements. So I'm sure he'll be back in 2 weeks even better.
Top 4 here we have more to talk about, as this is probably different opinions. James Hollingshead came in. There was a lot of uncertainty because he wanted to do his own diet. We saw a lot of refeeds and a lot of food coming in, and myself, I get scared when I see that from athletes because it's not always the smartest, but obviously who am I to say what he needs to do? So we didn't know what we expected. I saw him at the meet and greet. Viktor, you saw him at the meet and greet, and he was huge. How much do you weigh, James? He said 280 pounds. And George, it was a wow factor in the meet and greet with James, wasn't it, George?
I was taken aback by how big he is in person. Like, a lot of bodybuilders, when you meet them, they go, oh, they're quite short and they're impressive, but you meet James and you think, wow, that's a big. I think he's about 5'10", 5'11", which isn't short for a bodybuilder. And I think he was weighing in at about 272, 273, which is a huge bodybuilder.
275 was his biggest ever.
Okay. It's the first time I've ever seen him on the pro stage that he's not lost muscle. He kept all his muscle. I think he could have been a tiny bit sharper, but his glutes from the back, his hamstrings, his back double bicep has turned into a real strong pose.
Yeah.
I think he took 1 or 2 shots off Andrew Jack.
Samson, which physique, this new physique, this new look, different look of James Hollingshead, how do you compare that to his 2020 breakthrough year with winning Spain and the UK show? How do you rate this physique and that physique?
I'll say this look was more similar to the 2020 look, because as soon as he walked out, because I was there, remember I competed against him in 2020. So when he walked out, this one, you know, as soon as he walked out, I was like, okay, that's more similar to the 2020 look where he won 2 shows back to back. And I think, as you know, as much as it is, you know, for some guys, it's always, okay, get harder, get harder, get harder, get harder. But for James, I think when he pushes so hard to get that hardness, he tends to lose muscle for it. And I think this sort of look matches better from getting better results than when he tries to really dial it down and go really. He just ends up losing a lot of muscle when he does that. So yes, he could be a bit tighter in this show, but I think if you then take the look here and the look last year compared to the look in 2020, the 2020 look and this look always works better for James.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Victor, what did you think when you first saw him on stage there? Because you shoot all the guys. Were you thinking this might be in it to win it? Or because you saw Andrew first, I believe, didn't you?
No, I think James came out before. I don't remember. Really.
Okay, yeah. What were you thinking? First impression?
Super impressive. I mean, just what Samson was saying, he came out and you could see right away that this was a package to be reckoned with. He had the size. He was in great conditioning, and really, I think his lines are better now than I've seen them before. With the sweeping quads, he still has, you know, a tiny waist, and like his front double is just, I think, much improved from before.
Yeah,
it was clear difference.
Martin Fitzwater, I've spoken to him. I was not going to go into detail, but he's very disappointed. He's young. He's has a lot of passion, and he wears his feelings. How do you say it on your? How do you say it on your sleeve?
On his sleeve.
Yeah, whatever it is. And he wanted to win.
Yeah,
he was in fantastic condition. His legs were up. How do you see him and James Hollingshead, George? Who did you have? Was it fair? Did you have Martin in third and James in fourth, or would you have switched it around?
Well, you could argue that either of them could have been as high as second or even first.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the gut.
Wait, George, what do you mean? So you're saying Martin or James could have won with different?
Well, I've watched a lot of videos, looked at a lot of photographs, and I think Andrew clearly wins the front double by. Front lat spread, James was pretty good because he was so packed with muscle. It was pretty close. Side chest, side tricep.
Patrick
Andrew doesn't win. And Patrick's condition, but Patrick's condition is by far the best. So you've got to say, fair enough, he got second, that's pretty good. But he's definitely smaller than James, and he's definitely smaller than Martin. So you could argue a lot of different. The fact that you've got
Patrick wait 1 second. Patrick is not smaller than Martin Fitzwater.
No, I wouldn't say smaller than Martin.
From the back, he is. His back double bicep and back lat spread were probably
Victor, do you agree? Victor, do you agree with that? That Patrick is smaller than Martin?
From the back, I think it was. I agree.
Okay.
I think Martin was arguably the widest from the back and the hardest.
Yeah, he was great.
The glutes, the hamstrings, and the width of that lat spread. I think Martin arguably won those shots.
Yeah.
Samson, it was a noticeable difference between Martin's condition, Patrick, and Andrew, was it not?
Oh yeah, it was night and day. You know, honestly, especially mainly you see it, the shots are from the back. You know, Martin, I mean, when he turned around to the back, he was like, whoa, you know, you can see from the front, what happens is when he comes out from the front and he stands next to those guys, yeah, they do have the wow factor over him. They do have that big round separation and everything else. And they sort of, you know, kind of overwhelming me with that from the front with that. But as soon as he turns, you know, they turn to the back, he seems to just grow. And he's so much harder and dense and wider. And you all of a sudden go, the bodybuilder you saw from the front he's almost a different bodybuilder from the back. And from that one, he don't just only catches up with those two, he actually beats them from the back, you know. And he wasn't even like a little bit, he beats them cleanly from the back, you know. So you could sort of, you know, this way you can make a case of him actually placing second or winning the show. Because those shots were just so strong and so dominating, you know, that you got to look at it and go, nod your head and go, wow, you know, this is crazy.
And what's impressive, guys, I don't know where you were when you were 25, but this guy's 25 years old with this type of level of conditioning, symmetry. It's truly, who can we compare that to? Vlad was 26. I think Martin would take Vlad. Who takes who? Vlad or Martin?
Martin.
We gotta go with my boy Martin. But like you said, he's 25 years old, and obviously coming off what he considers a loss, he's devastated about that. But we spoke a bit after the show, and I tried to tell him, like, dude, these other guys, they have 15 years on you. It's 15 years of hard work in the gym, grinding. So you'll be there in no time. I mean, just keep pushing, because when Martin came out at the Texas this year, there was a wow factor. No one had seen Martin that good before. So imagine taking another year doing the same thing. I mean, he's going to be there in no time.
Agree. Patrick Johnson, who have some similarities with Samson, how he came up when it comes to media coverage, and people have no idea who he is. I'm talking Samson back in the day, not now. It's like he's never mentioned as one of the contenders, but he still wears this a lot of pride and self-confidence, and he's very, when you speak to him, he's like, I'm going to win this show. And he's very confident. I wouldn't say, it's not cocky, but it's a very high type of self-confidence. He came in, nobody had him in the top 5 comedy. Well, I had, and some other people, but Samson, he comes in, and you told me after prejudging, you had Patrick in the lead.
After prejudging, I got to say, because he came in, and I know, this is the thing, when he first came in as I opposing, he was all there, you know. He was hard from the front. His was better separated. Everything was there. And he had that eye-grabbing moment where you kind of looked at him next to Andrew and think, okay, he looked denser and more packed and more filled out, you know. And I don't know what happened. I think more they posed, he just kind of faded a little bit, especially
in the
like
finals?
the quads and stuff. Yeah, you know, the quads and that sort of faded a little bit. But, you know, doing prejudging, you know, your eyes was drawn to him. Him and Andrew, you're both looking going, ooh, that's a close one between them two.
I saw him after prejudging. Abdullah was very confident. He was pointing at Andrew's glutes and saying, it's a done deal. It's like, come on, this is bodybuilding here. Then he had his pizza after prejudging. I saw Patrick. Is this something we recommend, George, after prejudging, having a pizza?
Well, sometimes. I think with Patrick, I think you had to be there to see his condition, because we've all seen the videos and you can't see the condition.
Yeah.
We were there. We could see that he was by far the most conditioned guy in that top 4. He wasn't small.
No.
But you've got to think the other guys have got strengths that he doesn't have. Now, Andrew has got that wow, X-frame, X-factor that has caught the imagination of everyone. Now we know that he could be a lot harder in the glutes and the hamstrings from the back. We know that his quads are good on the outside, but the inside there's not really much there. We know that his side poses could be better, but that standing there relaxed, that front double bicep, that front lat spread, those first 3 shots, he kind of makes everyone go, right, he's won it, before you get into the other poses. Now, Patrick should think to himself, he's beaten James, he's beaten Martin, he's beaten Mark Hector, he's beaten Jamie. Those are really good sculpts to have got in that show. That's by far the best sculpt he's ever had in a show. So he needs to just think, okay, it's good to aim high, and it's good to be confident, but if you don't succeed with it, brush yourself off, get on the next show. If he's in France, because he's lean enough to be in France and win that show, well, I don't think Mark will be ready for it.
He's not doing it.
I spoke to James on the morning after the show, and I asked him about France, and his name is in it, but he seemed doubtful whether he would compete in France. So Patrick could get a nice win in France this weekend.
Oh.
Andrew Jack, the talk of the town. Seldom have we seen an athlete taking over YouTube the last 2 years just as an amateur. So many motivational videos and things without even being a pro. And all of a sudden he said, I'm going to do the pro league. We saw Arnold Classic. He was in his best shape as an amateur. You remember his pro card win this year early, but it was dominated. It wasn't even close. It was not the best competition. Texas, he was good, but he wasn't in his best condition, and he won. But Viktor, you saw him now. What when he comes out, 300 pounds, beautiful physique. Viktor, first time you see him, what were you thinking?
I mean, Andrew is that kind of guy that I think your eyes are just drawn to him because there's so much going on. He really has that he's tall, he has that wide frame, and from the front there's a lot of things going on in details. You know, he has the shoulders, the abs are really clear. It's just, I mean, your eyes are drawn to him because there's so much happening there, and he has that really X frame. You know, I think he wins a lot from that. Could his conditioning have been better from the back? Yeah, absolutely. We know that, which makes it interesting to see if he would actually nail his conditioning 100%. Where would he end up?
Well, his body weight, you say 300. George Farah has said in the last day or so that he was high 280s. That's what he says.
Was he really 12 pounds down from Texas?
He was never 300.
That's what they said, 303 at Texas.
Well, the thing is, they also said he was 70%. So all that stuff is just a load of nonsense. I love George Farah, and I believe him when he says he was too high 280s, and he looks to take him in Olympia at the low 280s, high 270s, which I think is realistic.
So Samson, now you both are born in Nigeria. Is this correct?
Yeah.
You are both taller than average bodybuilders in the pro league today.
Yeah, well, today, yes.
And you are going to the Olympia, and you're going to meet this guy now. And now he's going to nail his condition better.
Yeah.
What strengths do you have that he doesn't have to place higher at this Olympia?
Well, we got to wait till the Olympia to see, right? That's what makes it fun.
Are you okay? You saw him now.
Yeah.
What is his weaknesses you can expose on stage?
Ooh.
Oh, man. Because the thing is, you know, it's one thing seeing pictures, it's another thing seeing videos. And honestly, I'm honestly speaking right now, okay?
Yeah.
When I saw the pictures and videos from Texas, I was impressed a lot. And I was thinking, wow, okay, that was impressive. And compared to when I saw him in the flesh this past weekend, I was more impressed with the pictures and videos I saw than what I saw face to face on stage.
Okay. Yes. That's we don't need to. Before we talk about all the Viktor.
Yeah.
Who's gonna place the highest at Olympia from Nigeria? Samson, Blessing, or Andrew?
Ooh, that's the question. Blessing is not going to be the guy. It's definitely between Andrew and Samson. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the fights we're looking forward to seeing. Obviously, God knows. What are you saying, Samson? Who's winning?
He keeps it political here, but anyway, congratulations to Andrew Jack. Quick, did you have Andrew winning, Viktor? Yes or no?
Oh, dude, I'm still not sure about it. Does he deserve the win? Yeah, but I'm still thinking it could have gone other ways. So
George,
I think top 4, any of them could have won.
Yeah.
Samson?
Yeah, I gotta agree. I agree with George with this one. Yeah, he did win fairly. I gotta say he did win fairly, but at the same time, any of them, if he had gone any other way, I don't think we would be sitting here complaining about it either. We would have said, yeah, understandable.
We have 10 minutes left. We're going to go quickly through it. Men's physique. Are you guys impressed with Ali Bilal or what?
Yeah, great. Like, he's just got the look, hasn't he? He's just got the men's physique look. And I kept on saying to you when I was next to you, I think because there was
Emil Walker, and Jarko was in the top 3.
Yeah.
I thought that could have gone any way as well, but I thought the right person won. I think he looks the way I meant, and he's got the smile as well, isn't he? He's got that.
He looks like a mini Ricky Martin there, doesn't he? Lola Montes figure, Viktor. What a beautiful physique, correct?
Correct, indeed.
Oh, the way you.
Yeah, but that was. I'm so amazed by these figure looks because they have these wasp-like waists. They're so tiny, and then they just, unfold that front pose, and you're just blown away by. Yeah, it's unbelievable. She deserved the win. She did.
She had a lot of nice detail there, Samson, didn't she, Lola Montes?
Oh man, you know what? Not just the detail, but her persona when she walked out. She was just so confident. She flew so nicely. And it was like she walked out knowing that she already won the show, and she made all of us believe, yeah, she's won the show. And that was just it. It was just that clear,
212, Peter Molnar didn't make weight classic. Viktor. Beautiful 212 debut by Peter.
That conditioning was on point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. Second place, he made 10 pounds up. Radoslav Angelov, Samson. What do you think?
You know what? At the prejudging, I actually had him winning.
That's,
me
too.
Because he was so detailed, he was so round and so full and so impressive. I mean, he was smaller than the guy from Kuwait, yeah, but the wow factor he had in spades, Yeah. But I understand, obviously, in the finals, judges went for size and more mass and more that density, but honestly, after prejudging, I had him win.
Congratulations to, is it Nasser? Can anyone remember his last name? Nasser?
Ooh.
The 212 winner from Kuwait.
Nasser Sayed.
George, he had some tremendous size advantage over Angelov, though, didn't he? The most muscular, especially.
He was definitely the biggest guy on stage there, and he was really fighting for it as well.
Yeah.
When he was doing the comparisons, he was making a lot of noise about it, and he definitely wanted to win, and he made sure that the judges saw him fight for it. And I think he was the deserved winner. I think he had the most muscle, pretty good condition, really good shape. I've got no complaints about him winning.
Classic. Do you like Classic, Viktor? Is that a class that you like?
Love Classic.
And
this one was interesting because I wasn't sure what they were going to do with Wesley
Michael and Zagarella.
Yeah, exactly. But I was very impressed with Zagarella. I mean, I was impressed with all of them, but I wasn't sure about this one either. He could have gone, yeah.
But he had some tremendous condition, Michael Samson, didn't he?
Oh man, you know what? Amongst the men of this show, he was by far the most conditioned guy in the whole show.
But
you know, he was.
But Wesley Wissers, George, he has that extra Arnold Schwarzenegger factor. This is Arnold Classic here, and here comes Arnold himself and posing like crazy. And no,
well, I think with Vissers and the other two guys, I thought it could have went any way between all three of them because they were totally different, but all in the same class. Now, the Bull had the condition, and he looks as though he's crafted his compulsory poses so he looks the most aesthetic that he could ever look.
Yeah.
I think he was a bodybuilder who went to classic, but now he looks classic now. And Vissers, we saw Vissers the night before, and he looked really drawn in the face, and we thought he's going to be in condition, and he was. I would have had no argument with any of the top three winning. Although the Bull, he was really overcome and ecstatic when he won. So great, like a well-deserved winner.
As Viktor said, Michael backstage after prejudging, he was very worried about Zagarella. He was a little bit because Zagarella was in the middle. It looked like he was in the lead after prejudging to me. And he did not fade during the final, Zagarella. And with that waist and the way when he came out with the victory pose, he was something, Viktor, he was something special.
It was special. I mean, very special. That's a unique look that he carries, and he carries it well.
Bikini, Ashley Kaltwasser, top 4, amazing. Ashley Kaltwasser is like Ronnie Coleman of bikini now, pure domination. And women's physique, guys,
oh yeah.
Samson,
these girls.
I saw that. Honestly, I was so impressed. So impressed. That's something I've never seen before, you know. And it was that wow factor. Like, wow, okay. You know what? At one point, I was worried that they weren't going to reward her because she was too conditioned, you know. But I'm thinking, you know, this is women's physique show. They got it. I mean, it was crazy. You know,
when she came out that gate, you knew right away that this was the clear winner. I don't know what they're doing in France, but they have some good women's physique athletes over there.
It's not just the glutes; it's our
everything.
And she looks so feminine as well. It's like she's got that look, and she looks fantastic as well.
Yeah,
she's going to be a big threat in Olympia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because she got a real big scalp.
For people who don't know, Barbara Minaj in second. She's 48 years old, looking just incredible. She's been at the Olympia twice and got 2 4th places, and Anne Moon just beat her.
Wow.
So Anne Moon is now in that Sarah Viegas, Brooke Walker, Natalia Coelho to see who will get the title. Before we go, France, James Howling said, Lionel Bieke, Jamie the Giant, Patrick Johnson. Just say it quick. Who's taking it, Samson? We got 1 minute left. Who's taking it?
It's going to be between James and Patrick.
Lionel?
Now Lionel hasn't been proven for a long while, you know, and you know what? When you're that absent for a stage for that long, or you haven't hit your peak for that long, the doubt is there. The doubt creeps in.
So who do you have? James or Patrick?
Between one of them two. Honestly, you could flip a coin in it. Just the same way at this show. You could have flipped a coin for either way.
Viktor, is that the same response?
Yeah, I think Patrick has this one. Since both James and Mark are sitting out.
Is James sitting out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
James told me he needed more time. So he's still on the list officially, but
he might do it.
I hope it's okay that I said it, but he told me he needed more time. So I think this show is Patrick's, honestly.
Guys, we gotta go. If you guys want epic photography, video packages at show, Viktor is the man to reach out to. We're gonna put his Instagram. George, we'll see you more of these shows during the Olympia hype. And Samson, we're gonna do some special shows before the Olympia because
for sure.
this is the show. Can you take us out with a front double, Samson? Can we see some sides?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
and there we go. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for coming on.
Goodbye, man.
All the best, guys.
Bye bye.
All the best. Bye.
You guys.